many years ago, just as a way to allow you all as young professionals in the industry to be able to meet new people, make new connections, and just kind of be able to get some knowledge and insights on best practices in the industry, be able to grow your knowledge and things like that. So the goal for the program as the mentee is to kind of take ownership and initiative of the relationship that you'll be building with your mentor. So taking that initiative to reach out to your mentor, to set up calls, make sure that you're following up with them to topics you want to be talking about, things you want to learn throughout the year and grow this relationship. The kind of idea is that you both are able to attend the NACMA convention. This year it'll be in Vegas in June. So that's kind of the goal, and then that way you guys can meet up in person, depending on where you're at throughout the year, as well, depending on how close you guys are geographically. If your mentor is up for it, they may offer to invite you to a home event or something like that throughout the year as well. But just kind of depends on how close you guys are geographically. You've heard me talk quite a bit now, so I'm going to pass it over to Mary and Autumn to introduce themselves, and then we'll kind of talk through some expectations and best practices for the year.
Awesome. Thank you, Russell. So like Russell said, I'm Autumn. I'm the Assistant Director of Marketing over at the Air Force Academy. I'm also part of the committee for the professional development. So we helped with the mentor program. What we're going to do is we're going to go over the expectations. I know Russell kind of hit it a little bit, but there's three main ones. And I'm going to go over the first one, which is communication. Again, Russell hit on this a little bit, but the main thing is we want you guys to be able to communicate at least once a month. We understand everyone's super busy. So after this, please reach out to your mentor and figure out a good day and time that works each week for you guys, or monthly, I should say. Again, we know crossover season is here, or class, everything is, you guys are super busy. But if you can get that day and time that works each month, put it on your calendar so it blocks off that time for you guys. And then that way you have it set each month. And then if you are lucky enough to be close to each other, try to meet in person. But obviously for most of us, that's not going to work out. So try to get on those Zoom calls, or just feel free to call each other up whenever you needed. So yeah, that's the main thing about communication.
Awesome. Thanks, Autumn. Hi, guys. I'm Mary DeFriest. I'm the Assistant AD of Marketing and Fan Engagement at Elon University. And I'm going to kind of cover part 2 of our expectations, which is making sure that you come prepared to your meetings when you meet with your mentors. Be thinking about maybe some challenges you're having in the work day, or trying to find jobs, or if you have some clarification you might need on, things that are just happening to you day to day. This is a great opportunity to rely on someone maybe not out in your work area and at a different university to kind of pinpoint some ideas and come up with some best tactics to maybe try to go about some things. And so, yeah, just please make sure you come prepared. Again, we've mentioned everybody's busy. Everyone's got a lot of stuff going on. So make the most of your time with your mentor when you have it. Because we want to make sure we get some good, valuable content out of all of it. And we all just want to learn and be better. So thank you.
It's Autumn and Mary. And the third kind of expectation for you all is the commitment part of it, right? Like we've said many times, we're all busy. There's lots going on in our day-to-day lives, but being able to commit to the program, like Autumn mentioned, putting it on our calendar, making that just like a monthly recurring event, makes it easy to not forget that's coming up, or that you need to schedule something every month. It just like any relationship, it takes time and effort to be able to commit to it and continue to build that relationship. Just be in contact with your mentor. You and them will figure out the best way that they like to be communicated with, and how you like to be communicated with as well. If for whatever reason you run into a situation throughout the year where your mentor is not being responsive to you, or you're having a hard time getting a hold of them, please reach out to either myself, Mary, or Autumn. We'll do what we can to make sure that we follow up with them, and then make sure that they are communicating with you throughout the year as well. Could be a situation where they've changed jobs since they've submitted their application to be a mentor. So they may be at a new location now, a new school, and they have a new email or something like that as well. We did run into a few situations like that during the summer. So just let us know. We'll do everything we can to follow up with them. And just like you all have expectations, there's expectations of them to be committed, being involved with you all as mentees and being part of the program as well. We'll have an opportunity for you all to ask some questions at the end of the call if you have any. But right now, we're going to turn it over to someone who's going to be able to give you all some best practices on what it takes to be a good mentee and how you can get the most out of the program. So we're going to turn it over to Jamal Walton. He is also known as Jam. He currently serves as the Senior Associate AD for Sport Administration and Strategic Initiatives at the University of Washington. He's also a NACMA board member. So without further ado, Jam, take it away.
Appreciate it, Russell. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Some of the folks on the call here I know, and it's good to see some of you guys. I will say, just in general, like NACMA is awesome. So I'm hoping that everybody tells all of their friends to join NACMA. I'm giving some shameless plugs out here, Nick. But also, we have some great initiatives, and one of them is NACMA Academy too. So there's a lot of great things that we're doing. But before I get going, Mary, Autumn, and Russell, I want to make sure I acknowledge they've done a fantastic job of putting this together. There's a lot of long hours they probably put in to make sure the matches and the selections worked out well. So I want to make sure I say that before I get going. The next thing is, even though I'm 38 and I've been in this business since 2009, you can always learn something. So I want to make sure you guys understand that, like, even though you guys are mentees, I want you guys to be challenged to help the mentors. I think that's very important. We're all learning, no matter if you're a senior associate AD or if you are a graduate assistant, there's always more that we can learn, and there's always more that we can contribute. So some of these things you may have already heard, but I think number one is, like, seek clarity on what you need. When you're talking to this mentor, the first couple calls, I would try to figure out, what are your goals? Like, what do you want to establish at the end of this, or get to at the end of this, yearly partnership? So what are your goals? How can they help you? And I think that's the first thing you need to do is, like, what are you trying to establish with this person? The second thing is respect their time. If you have 30 minutes, make sure you utilize that 30 minutes. And if you can give them a little bit of time back, that's great. But just make sure you respect their time. Obviously, if it's starting at 9:30, make sure you're there in the Zoom room at 9:28. Just be there a little early. And if they want to go over, that's great. Take advantage of that. Mary, Autumn, and Russell talked about it, but be engaged, be highly engaged, and ask questions. Just don't come there and just sit and think that your mentor is just gonna have everything laid out. It's really your time to set the tone with them. So make sure that you do that. And be open to new horizons. I know this is more central around NACMA, but learn the background of your mentor. If they have other areas that they oversee or have been involved with, learn those areas. Because if you're someone like me that wants to be an athletic director, or maybe you want to oversee external, that's a person that can tell you or give you a little bit more of what that is. Because I think the more well-rounded you can be, not just in the marketing area, but in other areas, you're going to be more of an asset in terms of moving up and creating some some really good skills that a supervisor will look into. Also appreciate constructive feedback. If there is things that you can share with them, a marketing plan, if there's things that you can provide to them and ask for feedback, take it and use it as a way to get better. Use it as a way to maybe take an idea back to your team. So I think that's also important. We talked about maintaining effective communication, but create added value. If there's things that you're doing on your campus that you feel you could share it. There's a saying, it's a copycat league as long as you don't copy as long as you copy the right cat. So, we're all about sharing ideas. What works best for Mary at Elon may not work as best for Autumn at Air Force, but you can take that idea, you can run with it. So those are just a couple of things. I wanted to also mention, obviously we have mentors here that you're going to have mentors within this program, but get to know the senior leadership and executive staff at your own campus. Get to know them. There's probably ways that they can help you. Sometimes, and I know we have a range of titles and areas here, but sometimes if you're, someone that's younger in the business, you're kind of nervous to talk to those folks. Like, that's what they're there for, to help you to learn what your goals and your aspirations are. And I'll kind of finish with a little bit of a story here, and then I'll take some questions, and then I'll pass it back to Autumn. I know we said 15 minutes, but I guess I'm talking too fast. So I've been to a few places on my journey. One of the places was the University of Oklahoma. I was an assistant director of marketing there from 2010 to 2012. Again, just getting to know people that are not within your department. I got a chance to get to know a guy named Matt Roberts. He's the AD at the College of Charleston. Matt was just a guy that I just walked by the water cooler, walked by his office, and I just got a chance to know him. And he knew I wanted to be an athletic director one day. I think at the time I wanted to be a director of marketing. That was kind of my goal, next phase. So I ended up going to the University of Alabama, and I was the director of marketing there for 4.5 years. And it's funny, Alabama was playing the University of Washington in the Peach Bowl, and we beat them. We beat the University of Washington. Now I'm working here, which is kind of funny. But I reached out to Matt because he just got the AD job at the College of Charleston. I said, "Hey man, congratulations. I wish you the best." And about a week later, he called me and said, "Hey, I have a associate AD of the external position I want you to, look at." And, I looked at the position and I was like, wow, this is really cool. How do I apply, or like, what do I do to take a look at this? And he said, "Well, you don't have to apply." He said, I'm going to hire you if you want the job." And I ended up working there for 4.5 years. And then, again, this is why you tell your mentors your dreams and your aspirations. I was sitting in Washington because my wife is from the state of Washington. And I got a text from Jen Cohen, who's now an AD at the University of Southern California, but now before she was at UW. And Jen was like, I don't know if you guys met Jen, but she's awesome. She's a fun, bubbly person. She said, "Hey, this is JC. Love to connect with you." And I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, who is this? I've never met her before. But little did I know that Matt Roberts, my current AD, was telling Jen, "Hey, Jamal is a guy you probably want to keep an eye on. I think he has a lot of potential." So Matt, being my AD, he realized where I wanted to get to. And that shows what type of person he is, because some people don't have conversations with someone else when you may lose that person. Does that make sense? So that's what you call a champion. Matt was a champion for me, because a champion is someone that will speak on your behalf when you're not in the room. I didn't even know that was happening. So at the end of the day, that's why it's very important. And obviously, I had a chance to talk to Jen, and then it was the same type of thing. Jen's like, "I'm not hiring anybody if you want this job. I'm not going to even." So, bam, now I'm here. So as you move up, things will happen like that for you. But you have to build relationships with people. And most of the time, if you do a good job and you treat people right, they're going to find you, and they're going to want you to be a part of their team. So all in all, just like I said, seek clarity on what. And as Russell said, if someone's not doing a good job, let us know. We'll make sure that we make sure it's a good experience. Unless anybody has any questions, for me, I'll pass the baton back to Autumn.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of that.
Yeah.
We are now going to go into breakout rooms, and we're gonna have you guys introduce each other. We'll send all this information out in the breakout rooms, but just to go over, you guys will have a good like 20 minutes to talk with each other, introduce yourselves to your alma mater, where you're currently at, and your title. And also we have some fun questions just with being in the sports industry. So one of the questions is a would you rather question. Would you rather have the music laptop go out, or the video board stop working? I've had both of those happen to me before, so kind of want to see what you guys would prefer. Hopefully neither of those happening, but another one is if you had an unlimited budget, what would you spend it on? Obviously, we all have great ideas, but depending on your budget, you can't do all of those. So very curious what you guys would spend your budget on. How do you get ready for game day? So mine, I have my game day soda every day. I have my game day soda, or else it's not a game day. And then your go-to game day fit. So again, those are kind of a lot to remember, but we'll send them out in the breakout rooms. We want you guys just to have a little bit of an icebreaker and get to know each other. Again, even though you guys are all mentees, it doesn't mean you can't have relationships with each other, and you never know who can help each other out. So definitely take this time to talk amongst yourselves and get those connections among you guys as well, not only your mentors. So yeah, and then we'll come back and we will have a little question and answer, kind of wrap it up there with Mary. So cool.
And one quick thing to add is that because there are so many of you, there's not enough for all of us to be in the breakout rooms with you all. Have someone in your room just go ahead and take the lead on that, get the conversation going, because otherwise you might be staring at each other for a couple minutes. So once you get in the rooms, feel free to just jump in and start going. We may pop into your rooms, but like Autumn said, we'll give you guys 15, 20 minutes, talk amongst yourselves, and then we'll come back as a group and answer any questions you guys have.
Awesome. You all should be seeing the breakout rooms opening on your screen, so just choose to go in that. Awesome. So far, so good.
Then there was us.
Everybody.
Nice job.